if a cinematographer, a good cinematographer, knows what he's doing, the storyline, when you read it, you will be able to get a picture of how the lighting should be, how the movement of the camera should be, right? And everything that has to do with the, setup for that scene.
Welcome to our podcast today, and this is the Pushers Podcast, where we actually bring people who are entrepreneurs, founders, CEOs to come. You're actually talking to us about the basics of cinematography, how to upscale, and also the business side of it. So, want to know what first drew you into the place of cinematography?
Okay, thank you for having me, Nancy.
Come,
I'm very happy to be on your podcast.
same here.
Yeah, so what first drew me to the world of cinematography? Nature, I would say, right?
Wow.
The way we see things with our eyes, and
Okay.
you wonder how can we bring these things that we see from our eyes into film, into what people can relate to and watch over and over again, right? Now, there is something about cinematography which
Okay.
makes it cinematography. Cinematography is not just videography, right?
Yeah.
So cinematography has to do with the angles which you take, the shots, the lighting, the storytelling, right?
Okay.
How you are shooting the shots, right? The same way you will shoot a shot of a story in a cinematic way is different from the way you will shoot it just like a videography, just like a normal content, right? So I came to understand the difference between just videography and cinematography. So I saw foreign movies a lot, and I'm like, whoa, this is, even without saying anything, you could see the story. Watching the videos on mute, you could see the story, you could feel the stories. So I'm like, this is beyond videography. So I made more research, like, how can one be this good? What is, like, I asked so many questions and I came to understand, that was when I was way young, that there is something called cinematography and there is something called videography, and they are two different things.
So,
The concept of, to answer your questions, the concept of creating something very exceptional, right? Telling a better story, seeing so many videos out there that are very captivating. Those things, drew me into cinematography. So while I was watching, I'm trying to recreate what they did, and while I'm trying to recreate what they did, I was becoming better, and that was how I was so close and drawn to cinematography.
okay.
I was into
Yeah, I
photography
remember.
actually.
Yes, I do remember.
Sorry. Yeah, so I was into photography. So from photography to normal event coverage, and as I had to, impute cinematography in events. It was not just recording a wedding because it's just a wedding, right? You have to tell stories. You have to make it look like it's a film, right? And your client would love
Okay.
it and all.
Basically, if someone is listening to you and the person wants to venture into cinematography, so what is the key difference between cinematography and videography?
Okay, so I would strike some certain things, right? Cinematography has to do with aesthetics,
Okay.
storytelling, while videography has to do with events, right? Commercial coverage. Now, it's not, don't get me wrong though, it's not that even in the event and the commercial coverage, you cannot fuse cinematography or cinematic feel in what you're doing. But the difference there is the storytelling. You know that commercial events, you are limited. Right? But in the aesthetics of telling a story for a film, it's the storytelling for it, right? That is one. The second is visual composition and emotion, right? While capturing real-time moments is in the videography.
Okay.
You get my point. Real-time moments, right? You don't have time to rewrite the stories. You don't have time to, tell an exact stories or things that you want in the real-time event. That is for the videography. But in the cinematography, you have the visual compositions. You will sit down, you write the story, the storyline, you do the mood board, you would talk about emotions, you talk about everything that has to do with the steps on how this story is starting and how it's going to end and how it's going to be worked in between the lines, how to keep the clients engaged in watching this cinematic video and video coverage, just videography, right? Then we have you use cinematic cameras and cinematic lights, right? For videography, you have the DSLRs, we call them DSLRs, and they're smaller kind of cameras, and so hand gears and all. Then we have outputs for the cinematography is we have the movies, we have the theaters, we have the cinemas, we have documentaries, we have TV shows, we have TV series, we have Netflix, right? While for videography we have short films, we have brand videos, we have vlogs, right? We have company contents, right? Now you cannot compare a company content with a content of Netflix, right? You cannot compare a documentary of maybe a well-known person in the world to a documentary of maybe a brand, right? We're talking about a documentary of Nelson Mandela today, if properly shot, right, by a film company. Now you know that you are reading something that would keep you. You want to know it's a historical story, and you want to, watch at each point. You don't know if Nelson Mandela is even alive, because the way they're telling the story, they're bringing videos, they're pushing emotions, right? They're bringing videos like Nelson Mandela is there. You would ask yourself, oh, is it not Nelson Mandela that is gone how many years? And they're bringing videos that's looking like he's still active, he's still shot fresh. And stories for events, you are doing maybe a videography for a company, right? And it's just about the company. They're not pushing emotions. They're all going to tell you about integrity, about honesty, about their product and services, right? There's no emotion pushed. There is no feel about it. The only story they're telling is just one story.
And it's something they can actually do with AI, right?
But if you're telling
that kind of story, they can do with
something
AI.
they can do with AI. Something they can do with AI. Something they can shoot with phones.
Cinematography
Yes,
also.
definitely. What with the world, with cinematography, with the way the world is going, I would say it might be quite difficult.
But can they do it now, like cinematography with AI?
You can only tell a story and prompt these AIs to, give you this angle, do you this, but trust me, it's really
so they've
difficult.
not progressed to that extent.
So how would you tell a Marvel story with AI from beginning to end with all the tickets? But you can easily say, ChatGPT, write me a short story about my company, give the company information to the AI. And it gives you a script. You carry the script, maybe go to Gemini and Gemini
prompts for you videos. That's true.
Yeah. Okay. Now, when you see an AI version of Nelson Mandela, Hitman, Spider-Man, you know it's AI version. And you know, oh, this is not Hitman, this is not Spider-Man. It's not real.
Okay.
You get. So nothing really beats it because it tells emotions. It tells a lot. It's a living, like, it's a living. I tell persons that filming, right, is something that you live to watch over and over, and it's like a
Okay.
living memory. It's come on, we've told a story that sticks to people's head. Remember stories that when we see their movies today, right? Be like, oh, so this story was never true. But the way they told the story, they pushed a lot of emotions. And some of the actors and actresses that we hate and like today is because
Exactly.
of the way
The
they push them
narrative.
in the movie. That is
Okay.
storytelling. Yes. That is the
That's
emotions we're talking about.
cinematography,
That is
the emotions
cinematography.
itself. So can you talk to us
Yeah.
about your first cinematic project?
Oh, my first cinematic project was, like I said, when I did my research, I started infusing it into
Okay.
events like weddings, but it was limited. It was limited, trust me. It's
It
just
was
still
limited in the
wedding.
sense of, is it
Nothing.
the pay?
Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
Okay.
Not limited in the pay. Everybody knows it's wedding. What are you expecting? It's happily ever
Yes.
after. You get, it's from church, from the
Sure.
hotel to the church to the reception, and that is it. So everybody
Yeah.
knows the sequence. It's just the twist that comes to it that makes
Okay.
it very exceptional, right? But it was limiting to bring in
Mm.
cinematography into wedding. But the first time I shot a documentary for a company, a gas company in Abuja, and they took my drone pilot then to all of their gas stations. I sat down, I recorded all the staff members. They
Mm.
told stories, they pushed emotions, we
Mm.
did some shots. It was a bit limited because it was still a
Yeah.
company, right? But you could see that difference between shooting an event
Okay.
and telling a story, a living story. I still have the video to today, over how many years? And when I watch it, I'm like, whoa, this company is still existing, right? And they've built a legacy in trying to create
Mm.
something that maybe people that work with them in the next 25 years, 50 years will look at and
Yeah.
say, this is where they started, right? Yeah, so I've shot projects for some companies. I've shot for some companies in Lagos, companies in Abuja, documentary mostly. I was not in a rush to shoot a movie. I'm not in a rush to shoot a movie. I've not done a
Okay.
cinematic movie, right? Because most times I really take my time to do a project, right? But I'm planning on something, right? But it's not something that's very urgent. And when it's out, it's really going to be worth it because I'm going to invest
Yeah.
in lighting, I'm going to invest in cameras, invest in the cast and crews and all of that. But the few cinematic stuff I've shot are mostly
Okay.
documentaries.
Can great storytelling happen without
Okay.
expensive equipment? Okay.
Yes, yes, it can, but there is a little twist to it. Great stories can happen. That is why you see maybe someone shoots a very minimal
Yeah.
skit, right? And people are saying, oh, this skit is making sense, it's passing a lot of messages, right? But the point there is, you have shot it as a skit, it's going to end as a skit. Do you get? You have compressed a whole lot of information into 1 minute 30 seconds because you want the algorithm to push it, right? How about telling the story in a more elaborate way and reaching a larger audience and a bigger investment opportunities, like Netflix buying your movie, investors trying to invest in your movie. So it's two-sided. You can have a great story, right? But trust me, if it's a great story, the equipment would project it more. It's going to attract a lot of
Oh.
investment to it. It's not just going to end on social media.
Oh.
That's my take. Maybe people would have
It won't just end on
but
social
then
media. It's going to go
that's my
beyond
take.
the borders of social media.
it's going to go beyond. Yeah, it's going to attract. So imagine I invest millions into shooting a product or a project that it's a great story. I've talked to people about it. Oh, it's a great story. It's nice. Put it out, and I shoot it as a skit. It's going to end on social media. Now, imagine I put money to it and I make research. There are some level of equipment that Netflix would, accept if you're shooting cinematic movies, and some level of lighting, there are some requirements, right? Now, imagine I put in money and I shoot those things, and I get calls from investors. This movie is nice. I want to be part of it. I want to invest in it. It's a big shot, right? Netflix is going to be like, oh, I want to buy this. If you submit it and you're okay, you buy it and they pay you. People will talk about it. People on social media will talk about it. People, yes. So, but then when you shoot a skit or a limited version of this stuff, only social media will talk about it.
And you earn from owning social media.
If if you are monetized.
If you are not monetized.
What if you are not monetized? You are still in the process of shooting content to monetize, right?
That's true.
Yes, but don't get me wrong. It's not wrong to start little.
Yeah.
If you don't have the money to, get things right, don't get me wrong. It's not wrong to start little. You can actually, start.
So concerning your first project, cinematic first project, what lessons did you learn from that?
The industry teaches us a lot. The industry teaches us to be transparent, to be time delivery conscious, to know how to do business. So I'll list a few things, and with the experiences I got about it. Now, I charged an unrealistic fee for it. I was in partnership with the sister company, so I charged an unrealistic fee. By the time I realized that, the fee I charged is really not going to pull out this project, and it's really affected me. Even though I struggled to drop it, when you want to do a project, do your cost analysis. How much? Call the vendors if you're renting anything or getting cast and crews that you need to pay. Table everything, write the prices down. How much you want to make on this, right? Don't just go and chat because you use your head. Somebody will just call you and you'll be like,
okay.
Roughly you use your head and do the calculation. Do you get? And in the end of the day, you find yourself hooked. You'll be the bad person. Trust me. The way they beg you to charge less, the way they bugged you and was begging you to charge less, is the way they will bug you and call you out if you mess up.
That's true. That's very important.
So do your cost analysis. If it's going to cost your piece, charge more and have your piece. If it's going to cost you to, not have good peace of mind, leave the job. Don't do it.
So that means next time it's not every job we should take.
It's not every job you take. It's better you have 5 good gigs
with
good reputation.
It's going to boost your company.
Than to have 20 gigs that you abandon without a good reputation.
That's true. How do you approach lighting, framing, and movement in a scene?
So it's all about what a scene looks like, right? Okay. Now it's the storyline that will guide if a cinematographer, a good cinematographer, knows what he's doing. The storyline, when you read it, you will be able to get a picture of how the lighting should be, how the movement of the camera should be, right? And everything that has to do with the, setup for that scene. Let me give you
Yeah.
2 instances. So imagine trying to shoot an interrogation scene, right? And
Yeah.
everywhere is white. We all know that an interrogation scene by default is, that dark scene with the lights at the top, and it's just seeing their faces and all, right?
Alone. Yeah.
Now imagine having an interrogation scene where I'm doing an interrogation in the office of a setting. It won't give that feel, it won't give that emotion, or hey, this is a very terrible scene, and maybe it's a notorious kidnapper or armed robber they caught and they want to touch on him, right?
And someone might actually be watching the scene and might not even know what's happening there. Might just be like,
Yes.
okay, we're just having a discussion.
What's
And the
happening?
scene will pass and continue.
Is this an interview or what? Do you get?
Yes.
Now, the lightning tells a good story. While let me paint a picture of an interrogative scene, right? You have the table seated, you have the lights above the head, and everywhere is dark. It's just seeing the faces of the criminal and the investigator talking. Now imagine the camera panning a bit while they are talking, right? Just slowly moving, right? And you have sounds that resonates tension, suspense in it. It gives you more vibe, more emotion, more connectivity to the scene.
Cool.
Now imagine I'm shooting a love scene where the couples are maybe doing a car date, and I'm just shooting them because they're a couple. Oh, the husband is at the steering, the wife is at the other side. It's really going to be difficult. But imagine parking in a very big space or field, opening the trunk, right? And both parties sitting, throwing their leg out, and you take the shots from inside. Now, the shot scene has to do with their head from the back, and you're going to see the seats, the car seats, right? You definitely know from seeing the view, you definitely know that this scene, you are seeing two persons, right, talking, playing love and all, and panning in from either the back straight to the front, and the next cut is going to be a sideways cut and having them swing their leg, exchange flowers or something, or peck each other, and the next cut is a close-up shot. All these things are movements. If you are not timely with the movement, you will maybe miss it, right? Then panning it with a peck, a close-up. Now this is a close-up to them with a peck. Now this is a successful cinematic shoot of maybe two couples that went on a car date and want to just go to the field and sit. Imagine just shooting them inside their car when the husband is at the steering. There is no space. There is no space to tell a lot of things. It's just going to look like an argument session.
Of course, there's no space for body movements and all that.
Exactly. Panning them from behind when the trunk of the car is open, and positioning the car where you get a good rays of sunlight. When you are panning the camera, you're getting a good rays. The sunlight is moving, and as you are going this direction, the sunlight is moving this direction. It gives you these good rays of, whoa, this is a nice scene.
Of course.
Do you get? So those are very important. Understanding the script, the story, to be able to understand how the movement of the camera how the lighting should be placed, and the scene where you want to shoot it matters too. Where you want to shoot a scene. That's why you see most people, if it's difficult to get a scene, not a scene, if it's difficult to get a location, they create the location by themselves because they know what they want to achieve. Yes.
They create the location by themselves. Wow.
Yes.
Talking about creating the location by themselves, so do you prefer planning before going on set or improvising on set?
Okay. There's a recent video I shot for a brand. It's
Okay.
airing on almost 5 channels in Nigeria. It's a
Wow.
1 minute video for a project, right?
Okay.
We planned that video for almost 1 week. 1 minute video is a commercial ad.
Okay.
We planned it for 1 week plus, and we shot it. 1 minute video, we shot it for 3 days.
Wow. 1 minute video. Then now one was going to now think of how they act all these seasonal movies.
That is why you see the foreign guys, when they want to do their movie, they tell you season 1 has come out, the next season is like in 4 years time or 2 years time. It's only here, I'm sorry, it's only here that we rush our movies. That's why we don't have good stories. The most recent movies that I've seen that I'm in love with is this How to Kill a Monkey, because it took their time. I'm not advertising them, but it took their time.
Yeah.
Yes, it took their time to plan the movie. No scene was rushed. No scene was neglected. Even the Wakapa scene was not feeling like a Wakapa scene. All actors were carefully curated, picked, and executed. That's a proper planning. There were no hype, they didn't select an actor because they want to make that scene overhyped. They selected the actor because it's the best role.
Yes.
They didn't bring a big actor because they want the actor to sell the movie. No. That's what Nigerians do.
Yeah, and I think most of the people that acted are not the lead actors that we know in Nigeria.
Currently, yes, exactly. So they didn't pick actors that would sell the movie because of
even
I think
the man that was going through, that was going through a lot of stuff.
Yes,
I can't really recall.
I've not seen that guy before.
Yes, I can't recall seeing his face before. That's true.
But he delivered.
I can't recall. I can't recall seeing his face.
Stella Damasus has not been in the industry for a while.
Yeah,
but she delivered.
I've seen some of these episodes. When I saw her acting,
yes,
I just thought to myself, like, you could feel the way the expressions on her face when she's acting, even with the other lady that what's her name? Is it Bimbo? The one that her husband and her children got killed in a motor accident.
The one that had the psycho issues.
You feel the emotions when they are talking. Like, you can understand these people are acting. Like, they are actually portraying what they are saying. Unlike most of the movies we see now. I think what in Nigerian setting, though I might be wrong, what most people really know how to act very well is comedy. I think it's something innate in Nigerians. We're quite comical, so we know how to display that comic aspect of us very well.
And we over exaggerate it most times. We over emphasize and we overact it. That's just the truth. Yeah. We overdo it. Right? These people, I told someone that these people acted this movie that like each of their characters were part of their life before, that they just brought all of them. Yeah. So they came to pour out their heart. Like, this is what I was like.
So this was an experience I felt before.
Yes, I'm telling you. Trust me. Time planning. When the video came out, when we started pushing it to all the places, and some of the vendors or agents that got it to push, they were like, oh, this video should go to CNN. It should go. I'm serious. I have the screenshots. 2 of the vendors
after
like,
you send it to me.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. And I'm like, oh, I know CNN and BBC is actually quite pricey, right, for the brand at the moment. But it's not something the brand cannot do, right? Mm-hmm. But trust me, worth it for. And I didn't believe it was going to come out that much. That's really, nice and all. But it was proper planning. Yeah. Proper planning. And we used the right cameras for it too. Trust me.
Proper planning is very important.
Proper planning, the storytelling. We used 1 week to analyze the story, readjust it. Even after we shot the movie, while we are shooting the video, something happened while we're editing and we're shooting. We'll be like, something, so one part of the story somehow is going to have a twist. We came back on board, looked at the paper, did the twist again, and implemented it. While we were editing, a twist happened again. We're like, this would have been better if it came forward. This clip would have been better if it moved backwards, right?
Yeah.
And we looked at it, we played it, and it was making sense. We removed a lot of clips. A lot of clips that we didn't feature, we shot, but we didn't feature, but we removed them. But it still came out very perfect.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
What are your favorite tools, cameras for post-production workflow?
Okay, so yes, so it depends on the project.
Okay.
If it's a high-end project, there are cameras and lightnings for them. If it's a low-end project, there are cameras and lighting for it, right? So we have the red camera. It's called the red camera, red scarlet or dragon. Those are, we use them to shoot video, music videos, and movies, right? We also have the black magics, different categories. We have the black magics in the black magic pockets. Those ones, you can use them to shoot, many projects too, right? You have the DSLRs too. You can use the DSLRs too to shoot company profiles on documentaries, right? Depending on the DSLRs, right? Like Sony, Canon, Nikon, right? Fujifilm and the rest of them. So we also have we have Alexa. Those ones are very mad cameras. Those ones, they use them for so many crazy, right, movies. Then we have lights. We have the aperture lights. Those guys are crazy with their lights. We have all these ones they call the daylights. You shooting during the sun, you still have a light that is beaming and you are feeling it. Shooting daylight outside, right? So we have a lot of lights. We have the cold ball, we have the suit photo, we have the aperture lights, we have the Gotox lights. Those ones are, minimal lights that you can use to, achieve, minimal projects and lots of them, right? So if you understand the project you're having, you understand the kind of camera you want to use, the kind of light you want to use. There are some other equipment that you would want to use. Are you going to use a track? Are you going to use a dolly? Because some of these big cameras, you can't hold them, you can't move them around. It's something you can put in stable stuff that would help you give a good smooth movement, right? Yeah. Some of these DSLR cameras, you put them in the gimbal, get easily move around and all of that. So depends on your project. Depends on the how the project is being paid for. If it's a high-end project, if it's a low-end project. Okay. Most of the cinematographers don't have these things. Most of them don't have these things, right? Most of them do, because by the time you want to, pay money to buy these big equipment, you might not, as a startup, you might not have all the millions, to get all of these things, and it's usually not very cheap. To get. Well, you see my camera about 30-something million, 15 million, 10 million, and a startup who knows these things might not have the money to buy them, right? So you opt in for renting it. A camera that is about 15 million, somebody is renting it for you for maybe 100 and something thousand per day, right? And you want to use it to execute a project of about 2 million. So you get, so it's better you just rent and save up to buy. Right, or invest. Yeah, so that's how we really survive in this cinematic way. It's not that everybody have the equipment. There are some outlet there renting lights and cameras, drones, and all of that.
So, what's your advice on building a unique visual style?
Visual style.
Yes. What's your advice on building a unique visual style? When I was in university, they said style is the man. So that means style is unique to each person. So what's your own style that your advice on building that unique visual style?
So, to answer your question, right, a unique visual style. Oh, you know, I started with photography. There's one sweet, significant thing about photography. Most times, those era, even now, if you see popular photographers, you would, when you see their picture, then we, the photographers, we can tell whose picture is this. We can tell whose
Okay.
brand is this.
Yeah.
Either the style of their shots, their color grading. There's something we call color grading. Yeah, it's common. Everybody's doing a similar thing. But if you are a very indebted and very serious photographer, cinematographer, a video editor, you would know, you can simply tell whose video is this, whose picture is this, because of their style of color grading.
Okay.
I could tell that the popular photographer Bedge, I could tell his work.
Yeah.
But we have our grandfather in the business, Kelechi Amadiobi, we could tell his work, right? We have GT shot it, we could tell his work from his retouching, from his editing. My folks then, when I do something and I drop it or someone reposts, they could tell my work too, because there is this signature look we put in, everybody have to put it in their works, even if you don't see your logo in a video or in a picture, right? There's a signature look. Oh, this person's video always have this bluish feel, right? This tail of green feel, this orange feel.
I remember that
right?
Clarence shot it. There was this time that Clarence shot it videos, like it was more of these secular musicians were always using him for their videos. You don't tell, even before the end of the movie, that you see the Clarence shot it. Just the feel of the video itself, the coloring, everything. You could just tell that he is the one.
Just like TJ Omori, when he was shooting back to back for Young John, for YBNL, for Ashake, for a lot of persons, when Ashake stopped using him, we knew that it was not TJ Omori that was shooting the video. When TJ Omori's video came out, you could tell he was so passionate about his colors, about his camera positions, about his storytelling in his videos.
Yeah.
TJ, I saw one of the making of his video. They dug the ground. You could see it's the concept is crazy. When you see it, to be like, who can do this concept? Who can go this extra mile? Do you get it? So it doesn't just end in the coloring, it ends in the storytelling. So for me, my own legacy then was my signature look in my pictures and in my videos and in my storytelling. I had this signature look. If anybody sees my video, they'll know that I don't do an interview that just goes straight. If I am doing a documentary, I don't interview one person and the person narrates the story straight. I make sure that if I'm even writing the script or if I did not write the script, right, my story, what I'm saying, what 10 persons are saying, I have to cut them and I might start saying my own story, bring in another person's story, bring in like 5 more persons and come back to my own story. And it's still going to connect, like, oh, we are all telling the same thing, because it's a visionary stuff. It's a story that must, pull emotions. It's a story that must connect and must tell, make a point.
Yeah.
Right? So storytelling was one big thing for me. Even some of my video editors, when they've done editing, I'll be like, no, don't make it straight. Make it interesting. Make it someone want to wait and listen to the person's recording before you brought in the other person.
Yeah.
Right? Someone must know what is going to happen at the end of the video. Right? How are you putting the suspense in between? How are you making use of your sound? I play so much with sound, the beats of the sound, right? I do so many what's it called? I do so many audio layering, right? Okay. I make sure that the sound, even though we didn't record it live, I make sure I go to Envato is a paid subscription. I go and get some sounds Like the last video we shot, the table tennis, we couldn't get the sound, we couldn't get the beds, we couldn't get the field. I downloaded all those sounds, imputed it. You feel like, oh, this really happened. You feel like this stroke of a long tennis with the bats, you felt it. You felt the echo. You felt the whistle from the pitch. You felt the chairs, right? Those things are, signature. When you see a movie, when we are in a group, in a room, and you watch all our videos, you feel like, oh, this person is this person that owns this. His color, his storytelling, and all of that.
So that means a cinematographer has to be a hub of creativity himself.
Yes, he needs to understand a lot. He's not just there to shoot video. He will need to understand a lot on lighting, sound effects, a lot. He needs to understand that this scene we are shooting, there's a particular kind of color grading that the editor would use to do it, right? And he's supposed to know the kind of setting he's supposed to use for the camera at that point. You get? Yes.